I've helped 500 military families get out of debt and no charge to them. So if you are a military family listening to this, email me, text me, call me, and no charge. I will help you and your family get out of debt. And I'm a Dave Ramsey Master Financial Coach as well. So I want to start getting more into the coaching and more like consulting. The biggest news is I'm now licensing official DOL coaches, kind of like a franchise model underneath me. So I'm building a network. I've got 3-star majors, 106 retired, 105 retired. It's a couple civilians across the services, Marines, Air Force, Navy, whatever, who are all signing up to become an official DOL coach. Dude, that's good though, right? We gotta stay busy.
That's the truth, man. That's the one thing I realized. Like, it's better to be extremely busy than to be, just stagnant and waiting for things to happen for us instead of being proactive.
No, 100%. I have too many conversations with Green Berets and tell them, don't be bored. Because if we're bored, we're grumpy. And if a GB is grumpy, the whole world knows we're grumpy. We don't hide it very well at all. We're not stoic when we're displeased or tired or bored.
No, dude. It's keep grinding, keep fighting, keep doing everything you can. Find ways to expand whatever you're building, man. It's not about doing the easy. Like we weren't called into this life to do the easy. Like, nothing about being a Green Beret was ever easy. Not some parts, but not every aspect. There is such thing as Green Beret nap time. That's confidential. You don't get to know about that.
GBNT, yeah, you don't get to know about GBNT until you're in the team room.
That's right.
Yeah.
Scott Kinder, welcome back to Security Halt Podcast. How's it going, brother?
Man, it's good. It's going well. No complaints.
Hell yeah.
It's good to see you, man.
It's looking good to see you, man. Yeah. Freaking, I think your program, DOL Coach Online, is one of the most recommended things I sit down and give guys as they're going through the ambivalence of, what do I do? What do I do? Because intimately, I did go the entrepreneur route, but if you're like me and you don't know what to do, you don't know where you're going, it helps steady the ship to focus on something that takes into account the tools you've already got, the powers that you already harnessed, the things you've already achieved in your military career. DOL Coach Online, shameless plug, gives you the ability to understand, like, hey, you're a powerful entity and a powerful force for good for a wide variety of jobs out there, and people will look for you. You just have to understand that some of the processes you're already doing as the 3 or as the ops sergeant are already in your toolkit with a different name.
Even as a junior Bravo, I mean, it's more of a stretch, right? But I mean, skills are transferable. We just have to, for elite people, right? We don't believe in ourselves and we suffer from imposter syndrome. I had an SF06 just a few weeks ago tell me that he was going to, after 30 years in the military, retire and take a job as a junior executive. And I went, why a junior executive? You're a full colonel in a Green Beret. And he goes, well, an executive can't come into SF and become a colonel. Why should I be able to go? I'm like, would you take orders from a captain? And he said, no, of course not. I said, then why would you put yourself to take orders from a 25-year-old mid-level executive? Like, why don't you believe in yourself and want to bring, you're a colonel in special forces. You have incredible talents and skills to bring. And it's sadly, but it's the same conversation with sergeant majors and E8s and E7s and everything else, is bring that value to the workforce. We need it. It's needed. 100%.
Absolutely. So tell us about this new book, this new endeavor you got going on.
Man, I'm pretty proud of it. It's been about 5 years of rattling around in my head and countless hours of giving, advice to people who are, wanting to start their own business, do their own thing, leave the military or leave their job and start their own side hustle, So it's a combination of all that I've done, but I built the Green Beret's Guide to Starting a Business, how to win the fight and actually make money. And sometimes one of the simplistic things about it, I'll get more into the book. I've got to pull it up the chapter so I can talk to them here so I'm not just exaggerating. One of the things, military in particular, we're not great at asking for money in the sales environment because, it looks like we're weak. It looks like we're not self-sustaining. It looks like whatever. We beat around the bush and I have to dissuade people all the time that bringing value to people and making money are not mutually exclusive events, right? So building a business is a fight. And what I do in the book is compare it to combat, not, gunfights and whatever, but mindset. It's how to target, how to do sales, the TLPs for building your business, and how to conduct an AAR. I'm kind of going all over the place, but it goes sequentially through the ideation and mindset to building something that actually brings value to people, believing into it, building your team room of who you should have on your team, the mentors, the advisors, your peers, your spouse, people, and how to communicate those things, but also who to avoid like the plague. The toxic naysayers, the people who are, and I equated to some things in my financial coaching business as well, right? If you're in debt and you want to get out of debt, quit surrounding yourself with people who are also in debt because they're going to spend money. And if you're fat and you want to lose weight, quit surrounding yourself with people that go to the donut shop, right? Or whatever. If you're an alcoholic and you want to quit drinking, quit going to the bar, right? Like with your friends. So you got to surround yourself with the right people. But then it's just, how do we build this thing and how do we scale it and how do we not die by scaling it? So first, I think you saw the introduction on LinkedIn. I put part of the introduction on there, right? Like it paints a fairly bleak landscape of what the fight is, but the Bureau of Labor Statistics and more, they don't lie. I mean, a lot of entrepreneur efforts fail and a lot of quality people go bankrupt because they want to run a hobby or a side hustle. They don't want to run a business. And I've learned so many mistakes so hard throughout doing DOL Coach and surviving over the past 5+ years. It's incredible. So I want to be my gift back to the community and say, look, demystify it, get it out. Here's how to SFify, special forces eyes, your business ideas so that you can launch it successfully. Understand what you want. Are you wanting to be a solo entrepreneur? Are you wanting to build a team? What are you looking to do? And talk to how you're going to do it and then scale and then realize you got to earn it every day. You got to find customers. So I built it with, sorry, I'm talking a lot, but
no, you're good, man.
Part of the problem was I was trying to embed early on the appendices, like what is a sales funnel, into the actual chapters of the book. And so then I went, why don't I just make the sales funnel its own appendices? Because not everybody needs to understand like the feed cycle, right? So the old ops intel feed fusion cycle of, find, fix, finish, exploit, analyze, disseminate. That's a beautiful sales cycle. So where do you find your people? How do you fix their location? How do you get your offer in front of them? How do you exploit that sale to your own betterment and bringing value to them? Not ever ripping people off, but bringing value and solving problems. But also I've got business TLPs as an appendix, the feed cycle, battle rhythms, how to build a battle rhythm, how to do SOPs as an appendix so that they actually work for you and your business, and how to conduct an AAR and how to learn. And there's some simple things and some complex things both in the book, but sometimes we have to learn when to rest. And, I think you'll agree with me, brother, that we don't relax well. Green Berets do not relax well at all. We got to be busy. I got to be doing something. If it's program time to watch a movie with the wife, cool. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. I can watch a movie with the wife. But once that movie's over, back to email, back to finding out things are going on, checking LinkedIn, doing all the things, looking up your bank account, see what money's come in, gone out. We're always having to keep that gray matter occupied. But like I tell my 6-year-old daughter, sometimes you just have to fully unplug, recharge your batteries, like her favorite iPad that dies sometimes. I'm like, just like your iPad battery drains, your battery drains, and we got to learn to recharge it so that we can hit the fight and win the fight. And that's what it is. Business is a fight. And this book, in my belief, will arm you with the tools and how to join the fight, understanding simple things like embracing the suck and bringing power to others and adding value, but also what not to do from the lessons that I've learned. So I got a funny story. I had an SF brother who on one of my blog posts, and during the final edits, I just read this quote like yesterday. He wrote on my blog post, "Seems like you're always trying to convince people that you're the smartest person in the room, Scott." And I went, all right, that's both a little unnecessary, kind of hurtful, and a little bit mean, right? And instead of feeling sorry for it, I took it to the SF Slack channel and we mocked it mercilessly for weeks. And I thought this guy was a friend. I thought he was a supporter, right? And so I write, I don't drop his name in the book, but I'm like, sometimes you will get mean, unnecessary, and hurtful comments from people, and you can either wallow in self-pity or you can just go, I'm living the life that, and he was a SAR major. I wasn't. So he's got that, you shouldn't be doing this or as well as me, or There's a little bit of competitive egos in there as well, but sometimes you just gotta laugh, man. And that's part of the book as well, is you just gotta laugh sometimes and go, this sucks.
Yeah.
Fight. You know?
Not everybody's going to rally around you in your idea. Not everybody's going to support you. And as much as we kind of get used to success, and especially in special forces, because a vast majority of guys will go a lot of their careers without failing a school, without failing or doing bad in NCOER. They're like, I'm a fucking rock star. You get out and you're like, I'm going to get that fucking job. And it's like, we don't want you. It's like, what the fuck? And then you go to the next job. It's actually, we're not even going to read your fucking resume. Sorry.
Hard pass.
You apply for the Pat Tillman scholarship and they're like, hey, guess what? You're just one of these other guys and you're no fucking Johnny Kim. Personal experience. It sucks. Rejection is not fun. It sucks getting that message in your inbox saying like, hey, dude, we had 1,700 applicants and you're not that good. You're just not that fucking good. So what are you going to do? Are you going to
100 men will test today, but only one wins.
You passed selection, right? But you didn't pass the Pat Tillman scholarship. Sorry, homie. It sucks.
I mean, it's a belief that we have.
Yeah.
Somebody, I won't drop his name, but somebody very close to me who's very financially successful, not successful at all in every other area of their life, professional, personal, or more, told me, this service academy graduate or more told me, I've never failed anything in my life. And I went, your kids don't like you. Your wife doesn't like you. That's kind of a failure in my opinion, right? And I'm not gossiping here, but that's relevant to the fight, the book, in part 1, in chapter 1, I'm telling you, like, what are you looking to build? Are you looking to build $1 million entity? Are you wanting you see Shark Tank every night when it comes on? You're watching Elon Musk and you're an engineer and you want to build the next rockets and you want to do all this stuff and you're going, all right, great. That comes at a sacrifice. Are you willing to make the sacrifice to dot the I's and cross the T's, the expense of your family time? So you have to understand your priorities of effort, right? And, you can build a crazy successful thing, especially when you're driven, but your family might suffer. Or your personal life your health might suffer. So what are you going to do to balance it all out and set your priorities and understand why? And that's the piece that a lot of people miss, right? I'm a Green Beret. I'm a SEAL. I'm a Raider. I'm exceptional at everything that I've ever done. I'm going to build a business. I'm going to work 4 hours a day because Tim Ferriss tells me I can work 4 hours a week and I'm fine. And I can do all these things, but I'm never going to fail. And then they wonder what the hell is going on with their business. And I'm like, unless you're a SEAL, you don't get to post on social media and just have 100 likes, right? But I also talk to quit the vanity metrics of how many social media things that you like. I have a close friend who told me the other day, no, it's far, a couple months ago, he's going bankrupt in his business. And so he's actually leaving his business to do another side hustle so he can keep funding his business. And the piece, I'm like, what are you trying to fund, dude? Like, I thought you had figured all this out. And he goes, well, my PR firm is 10 grand a month. And I said, you're paying a public relations firm? And they go, oh yeah, well, they're getting me on all sorts of, different areas and in different newspapers and magazines. I'm like, if I pay somebody $10,000 a month, they better be bringing me $50,000 a month in revenue every single month. So a lot of us, even though we're intelligent and not gullible per se, we get that fish hook in the mouth and we're like, oh, I can afford a PR firm? Great, I'll sign a contract to do that. I'll go broke while I'm doing it, tap into my savings and my retirement and everything else, but make your business cash flow positive. Yeah. And that's the thing, right? Like, so simple steps, how to develop your team room, how to develop your SOPs, how to do recon and intel and not suffer from competitor analysis and analysis paralysis, right? How many people do you know that have started something, they can tell you everything that their competitors are doing, but they never move the ball down the field at all? I'm like, quit staring at your competitor's website. Like, dude, you and I fought Iraq and Afghanistan, right? We know the enemy always gets a vote and you have to adapt your TTPs and SOPs to that. But I don't sit there and worry obsessively about what they're doing. I do my recon, I get my intel, I push out and I go win the fight. And that's the thing.
Yeah, that's exactly it, man. But man, if we don't overcomplicate shit.
Well, because, hey, this guy has a Rolex. I have to have a Rolex. And, oh man, the whole influencer thing, right? Like, I really beat down influencers in the book because, I'm pretty prevalent on LinkedIn. You're on LinkedIn all the time. And I can't stand the LinkedIn influencers, right? Like, I have 300,000 followers and I'm the retired sergeant major with a voice on LinkedIn for all the military.
Michael Quinlan. Michael Quinlan.
The guy's an idiot. He's an idiot. And he's a mid-level manager at a BS company.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he's the absolute fucking worst. And the thing that, and shout out to my man at Sit Reps and Steerco's, because he calls it out all the fucking time. You get out of the military and you don't have this large fucking resume of actually proven success. Now you're yelling at everybody how great you fucking are. You're not that fucking great, homie.
No.
Like, it's yeah.
Dude, I'm a fairly devout Catholic, and I tell people all the time, and apologies if this pisses anybody off, but I tell them, look,
oh no, Catholic right here.
And the last perfect person walked the earth 2,000 years ago, man. We are all fallible. I fail every single day. You're not perfect. You're not going to be perfect. And guess what? It's in the military, you do stupid. I did stupid. You did stupid. We survived. Thankfully, we're here, right? But in this corporate world, you're going to do stupid. You're going to do things. You're going to commit to a public relations firm. You're going to join. When I first moved to Sydney after I left the GS world, I joined a Business Networking International group in Sydney, Australia. It was like their premier business networking referral group, and it was $2,500 a month. So to me, as a brand new consultant and coach, right, that was massive. Go through the whole interview process, do whatever, and I start having all these meetings with all the members. And basically, the way it works is they have one coach, one real estate, one cyber guy, one of all these like niche areas, right, for 40-ish members. And then so when you're walking around and you hear of a problem, somebody needs a podcaster, I go, talk to Deny Caballero, right? You got to talk to Denny. And then I follow up and do that. I pay my fees. I get in. I'm like, this is going to be awesome. I'm new to Sydney. These people are going to be referring me. And then every single one of them looked me in the eyes in the first meeting and said, I have to get to know you for like a year before I can start referring people to you. And so I went, so I'm going to pay you $2,000 a month for a year just so you can get comfortable that I'm going to show up. And I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
But thankfully I signed the contract, so I'm here for a year. So this is great move, Scott, you know? So avoid these things. You know? Like,
I almost fell victim.
Awesome.
Yeah. I almost fell victim to a super cool, I'm not going to get the guy's name out. But it definitely was a kind of shitty thing to get involved in. And I'm so glad I didn't, but it's like, yeah, you know, I know so many people. I will get you in front of some of the richest, most amazing individuals. My network is just fucking phenomenal, man. I will get you in front of so many great people. And I'm like, absolutely. I'm trying to do some big shit that I need some people. And it's like, and I'm like, I'm in. I'm like trying to figure out how I'm going to do some flights and like get some travel going on. I'm like looking at bringing out the suits. And it's like, don't worry. It's going to be about a couple grand and it's all virtual. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. No, I talk extensively about the mastermind groups, right?
Yeah.
The people that, I mean, especially LinkedIn, right? The people, I must get 10 DMs a day from people that have Premier or Sales Navigator or whatever version of LinkedIn allows them to find me.
Yes.
And they'll just give me these auto drip robotic messages saying, you know, I'm going to 10x your income. I'm like,
yes.
You don't even know how much I make. What are you going to 10x? What if I told you I made 500 grand a year? You're going to bring me from 500 grand to 5 million a year with a Gmail account that you have, like, and your 200 followers that you have? Like, oh, I see. This is awesome. But, and then when you write them back and say, quit spamming me with this stuff, they get hurt. And I'm like, and I follow up them. I say, look, I don't have any dog in the hunt with you in your business. I'm telling you, you're turning me off as a potential customer and you look like you're legit. You look like you have a great background and more. Somebody sold you on this bullshit and it's costing you my business because you keep sending me these messages. Now not only do I not care about what you're doing, I'm removing you as a connection and blocking you because I don't want to hear from you. You've not pissed me off that much.
Yeah.
So quit doing stupid out of desperation. Ditch the elevator pitch. You know, you got to have your 30-second elevator pitch. I'm like, why? It sounds robotic. It sounds stupid. Like you're reading a teleprompter. Hey, Denny, what do you do? Well, I started Security Halt podcast in 2000, whatever, after a career and stuff. Like, no, dude, like what problem do you solve for people through your efforts? And when you solve a problem for people in business, and most people forget this very basic thing, in business, when you solve a problem for people, they can't wait to pay you. And when you deliver more value to them than the money they paid you, and I then under promise, over delivered to them, then you have evangelical ambassadors of your brand, and they want to tell people about you, and they bring you into conversations, and you're cost per customer lowers and your marketing budget lowers and your profit margins increase and you have more money in the bank. And before everybody accuses me of being evil and some capitalist guy, only money in the bank, whatever, my priority is family time. You've sacrificed enough in service to your country. I've sacrificed enough, gone away from my family in service of my country. My priority is family time. I don't miss daughter soccer games very often. I don't miss son soccer games, oldest kids, college stuff, whatever, meals at home. I prioritize family time. I could probably 10x my own income if I didn't prioritize family time, but you have to understand what makes you tick and what makes you go forward. And I can fund my lifestyle off of what I'm doing and scale it up and scale it back with other things. So that's the business advice I'm trying to give people in the book that comes out July 4th.
Yeah.
Freedom, baby. America Day.
That's actually well thought out. That's a great idea. I'm going to put that in the
I have a good idea like once in a while, man. So I like it when they're recognized if I have one. So thank you.
Man, your journey, man. I think when we were talking initially in the first podcast we did together, your book and everything that you're doing has stories of not just the success, but the failures, because that's arguably where we learn the most. And guys need to understand, like, hey, man, like, be comfortable falling and failing fast. Be comfortable getting into that space and make a mistake. Okay. I learned something new today of what not to do in the business world.
Amen. And for the record, anybody listening to this, it is not biographical. It is not here's Scott's travels through whatever. I keep that as minimalistic as possible. There's no combat stories of shooting dudes in the face or whatever. And there's nothing, there's a couple swear words, but that's just me. So I try to keep it authentic. But what it is like you just said, right? It's that I've learned all these lessons. And when I teach and when I consult and when I coach, it's not like, do it Scott's way because Scott's the best and Scott has this whole program. It's like, no, do it this way because I've tried every other way to do it and failed 99 times previously. And this is the way that I found it works. And I'm going to talk about the failures and how much emotions, psychology, and money those failures have cost me. And you know what's strange, man? I think since we talked the first time, whenever I talk to transitioning GBs now, I have to tell them, approach your retirement or your ETS or transition like you approached Robin Sage. And they go, what do you mean? And I said, nobody goes to Robin Sage thinking, oh, I'm going to crush this shit. It's going to be easy as fuck. And the infill is going to be nothing. And I'm not going to be starving. I'm not going to be wet. I'm not going to be miserable. No, you're going to go out there and you're going to fail forward. You're going to get blown out of your G base. You're going to have, your food stolen from the Gs. You're going to have all your ammo. You're going to have missed opportunities. But the problem with missing the Robin Sage mentality is we get our GBs, we get our berets, we get some rank on us, we get some combat time and maybe an award or two and go to different schools. And now we're better Green Berets. And we forget the Robin Sage mentality of I have to bust my ass and fail forward so I can get my beret at the end of this thing, enjoying the community that I fought so hard and so long to join. And we get ranked. And I don't need to talk about Robin Sage because I'm a retiring sergeant major. I don't talk about Robin Sage. I'm a major. I'm an E8, E7. Yes, think about it like Robin Sage. If you approach retirement or your transition like you approach trying to earn the beret that got you into the community, you're going to be fine.
Yeah. And people don't do that. They absolutely don't. They see it as
egos.
Yeah. And fear, just complete irrational fear of the unknown, when in everything that if they just pause, reflect and look at their life and journey through special operations, it's nothing but an entire long journey of going into the unknown.
People think we're insane because we jump out of airplanes. And that's not special forces. That's airborne.
Yeah.
The civilians typically find out that you jump out of planes and think you're crazy. Everything you do in SF is just icing on the cake of craziness to them. And they don't understand it. So learn to couch it. We're our own worst enemy, man.
Yeah.
And I have to tell people too many times every week, look, dude, a Trident, a Raider badge, whatever those Raider things are they have nowadays, or an SF tab, they don't equate to a 6-figure salary just because you point to it and goes, hey, man, it says special forces. Nobody understands. You have to actually tell them. And by the way, it's not the complex that makes us valuable. It's simple things, problem solving, adaptability, handling change, being a force multiplier. If you can do those 4 things in industry, you're solving a lot of problems for organizations. And if you read the Gallup State of the American Workplace report, they'll tell you 85% of the American workplace is actively disengaged at work, with 40% of that number looking for jobs while they're drawing a paycheck at work, supposed to be doing another job. And that 40% costs the economy $400 billion a year in lost productivity. It's incredible. So when did you have a day of disengagement in your team? Never. I wasn't allowed to be disengaged on my ODA, right? You weren't allowed to be disengaged in yours. So when we go to these organizations and we find it, root it out, and set the example through the establishment of standards and the adherence to SOPs and more, right? People tend to think that SOPs are binding as far as overly bureaucratic and stupid. No, man, they're freeing. If you know what the SOP is, you can really run a whole bunch of stuff, but people don't know how to do it. So I wrote about it in the book. Establish your SOPs, right? Like, this is how to join the fight, realize it's a fight. And I'm not going to go on Mike Tyson and say everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face, right? But it is a fight. You're going to be told no. You're going to have customers that rip you off. You're going to have clients that badmouth you. You're going to have competitors that pivot faster than you thought they would and steal your market share. You're going to have a whole bunch of crap happen to you in business. And if you're a small business, I might put you under. But if you understand the number, understand the fight, and you get up every time, dust yourself off, shake the head, and go, man, that sucked, right? Like, get up and get back in the fight, learn a lesson, fail fast, fall forward. You'll be all right. But you got to understand what you need.
And Scott, where's DOL Coach going? I saw some news. We're in this. I think I saw it in our SF Slack channel. If you're not part of the group, we'll get an invite, get in it, join it. That's I love that community. I love checking that in.
It's so awesome, man.
It's one of the best things, and
Chris P is amazing. Yeah,
dude,
love him.
I feel like it's purpose driven. You're not just going there for people bitching and griping. Like, there's purpose to it, but I think there was some news in there that I saw about some changes that you're doing to DOL Coach. Where's it going in the future?
Man, awesome question. Always heavy on. So I'm very proud, and I throw this number out routinely, right? I've certified over 50,000, predominantly military, in the past 5 years. So I mean, we really hit the nail, and I love project management. Yes, I'll push my glasses up my nose and admit how nerdy that makes me sound, right? And more, I'll give my Green Beret and my tab back, but I love project management. I love training project management. We're about to pen a deal to where DOL Coach is the PM trainer officially for another well-named university in the Midwest, with more and more schools coming. So that's going to impact more and more veterans and some other big corporations and more. And that's coming like next week with the initial kickoff in September. So I'm dying to get into advanced training for people who understand the project management world but want more. So I have a new course I built called From Projects to Programs. How do you build from programs? I want to reestablish and re-get into. I've helped 500 military families get out of debt and no charge to them. So if you are a military family listening to this, email me, text me, call me, and no charge. I will help you and your family get out of debt. And I'm a Dave Ramsey master financial coach as well. So I want to start getting more into the coaching and more the consulting. But the biggest news is I'm now licensing official DOL coaches, kind of like a franchise model underneath me. So I'm building a network. I've got 3-star majors, 106 retired, 105 retired. So a couple civilians across the services, Marines, Air Force, Navy, whatever, who are all signing up to become an official DOL coach. And that will bring them into a ready-made business model that they don't have to build their website and invoicing systems and credit card processing. They can do all they want. And it's a pretty attractive piece. So if you're interested in becoming an official DOL coach, just email me, let me know, and we'll talk through it.
Man, that is remarkable, man. And I get it. People don't understand that they impact that number lightly, but it's not. You're keeping guys, gals alive. One of the biggest stressors and contributing factors for suicide for transition veterans is financial issues and problems, and purpose, passion, and employment. It's all tied in together, man. Like, you're literally helping people stay in the fight. And I don't say that lightly because it's true. It's a true metric, man. It's a true metric.
You know, that you want to know for your listeners, the number one reason veterans can't get out of debt. And this isn't some Dave Ramsey on the radio show would tell you or whatever. It's something I figured out after listening to veterans specifically. And it's not applicable to civilians, but in the military community, 100% true. They don't forgive themselves for doing stupid. I get people all the time like, I can't believe I got out as an E4 and I went out with no job prospects and bought a $150,000 Corvette. I'm like, yeah, that was dumb. And then I was repossessed and you owe all the money anyway, right? So I can't believe I got a MBA from this online school and it cost me $80,000 and nobody will hire me, or a degree in underwater basket weaving or strategic security services or whatever, right? And I'm like, yeah, that was dumb, man. Like, why'd you do that? Like, Google doesn't need like strategic counterterrorism studies. Did you want to go work for the agency, or like, what was your goal here? Right. So they can't forgive themselves for the stuff they did in the past and they dwell on it. And I go, look, dude, it's important. You got to learn from the past, obviously, fail fast, fail forward, get up, avoid that pothole again. But you've done it. You don't get to revisit. You're not Superman. You can't make the world spin backwards, right? And then go back in time. So again, forgive yourself the stupid stuff that you've done, acknowledge it. And in my previous book, the Get Out of Debt and Live the Life You Deserve, I talk about like, get mad at yourself because anger gets you motivated. Get mad, get organized, get in the fight. It's 3 steps. If you want the book, it's on Amazon. So it's like $8. I think it's not crazy expensive. FM 18-2, but get mad at yourself and get mad at what's going on targeting you. You know what I hate? I hate those commercials, the Chive commercials or whatever, right? And they're like, you see the dad and the son and, they're broke and they're like, oh, we advanced your payday. And they clearly have no money in the bank. And then the end scene of the commercial is he went out and bought himself a new truck and gave his truck because, he and his son liked it. And I'm like, what are you promoting here?
Yeah.
You don't even have enough to cover your groceries, so they're advancing your payday to you, but you go out and buy a new truck so your son can have yours.
Yeah.
So get mad at what people are propagating onto you. Get mad at yourself for not doing better with it. Get organized through budgeting, through understanding your debts. I can't tell you how many Green Berets out of that 500, dude, have called me and I go, how much debt do you have? Brother, I don't know, man. Got 50K in like a truck, 50K to the IRS, and the 30K in credit cards. And I'm like, dude, you're only calling because your wife is making you. And he's like, yeah, pretty much. And I'm like, here's some tips. Read the book. I'll give you the book for free. Best of luck to you. But when people call me and they go, I have $108,000 and 75 cents in debt. And if I sacrifice half my retirement paycheck for the next 2 years, I can be debt free. I'm like, brother, let's go. I'm your coach. We're going to get through this and get into it, right? If you want to get in the fight, I'm going to be your ally in helping you because, and this is why I named it DOL Coach. Lionel Messi needs a coach. Michael Jordan needed Phil Jackson as a coach, right? Tom Brady needed a coach. Everybody in the world, I have a coach that needs somebody who's on the back sidelines and can go, hey, stupid, turn around. It's right there, because I tell clients all the time, right? Like, the saying, I can't see the forest for the trees. Well, I can't even see the trees because I'm so far in the weeds in this that I don't even know I'm in the trees or the forest, right? So get out of the weeds, understand what level you should be operating at, where you should be, and get in the fight.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like debt is one of the big things that is impacting.
It kills.
Yeah, it's man, and guys don't realize like how fast it can get out of control. And then the shame, the guilt comes in, and it's like, fuck, dude. Like,
so what do we do, right? Is another conversation. I have too many Green Berets, and sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
When we're upset, when we're stressed, what do? We self-medicate.
Yep.
And then we get drunk or we binge food or we go to the gym too much and we self-medicate at the cost of the relationships and more, right? And then when we drink too much, we quit working out. When we quit working out, we get fat. When we get fat, our wives aren't attracted to us, so we have less loving and we're not doing anything else. Now we're grumpy and going back to what we started the conversation with, right? If we're grumpy, the world knows we are grumpy because we're not getting what we think we should be getting. So here's the deal, man. Like, cut it out. Find out what's driving all of this. Quit self-medicating. Quit doing the stupid things. Have the conversation. There's a stats I thought in project management training that's equally applicable to veteran suicide, if not worse. And it's 35% of projects around the globe fail through lack of communication. Think of how many veteran suicides could be prevented if somebody has picked up the phone and said, brother, I'm hurting, man. This sucks. And I'm in debt and I'm broke. And instead we just hide it and we internalize it. And then all of a sudden it's the dam. We think we're the Dutch boy, right? We put all the fingers in the hole, but at the end of the dam just erupts and it's over. It's so preventable if we just communicate.
Yeah. And that's honestly one of the things that we're really shitty at when we get on the outside, communication.
Yeah. I mean, we're busy, right? Dude, I laugh all the time. I tell everybody that comes to my courses, right? Like, I save you as a contact in my phone. There's a reason I ask upon enrollment for your cell phone number. So I know Deny Caballero is calling. Oh, hey, Denny, how's it going, brother? Good to hear from you.
Yep.
And so what happens is people call me and they go, hey, man, thanks for taking my call. I know you're busy. I'm like, sure, no problem. What's up? Well, I know you're busy. So thanks for taking my call. I'm like, you're welcome. What's up? I know how busy you are. I'm like, dude, newsflash. I have caller ID. I know who it was, and I'm not. I know I have OCD, but I'm not like compulsed to pick up my phone. I could have hit decline if I was busy. I could have hit auto respond with text, and yet I'm saying, "What's up? How can I help? How you doing?" So quit telling me how busy I am, and just let's have a conversation. It drives me insane. I'm not that busy. I built a life to where I can help people because I want to help people.
Yeah, it's true, man. We end up like that scenario happens all the friggin' time. Just embrace that the moment's happening. Be present. They answer the phone call. Engage in conversation. Stop trying to tell the world that you're not worthy. Like, that's one of the hardest things to try to convince people.
Yeah. Again, like, oh man, it's so problematic, and we're our own worst enemies in SF, man. Like, I'll get people who get on my calendar, talk about a project management course, and I'll start the conversation, go, hey, brother, good to see you. What group you're from? Where are you? Right? What's going on? And they'll go, yeah, man, I'm good. And I'm like, how's life? It's great. Doesn't sound great. Oh, my dog just died. I'm like, why did you not cancel this meeting then? Like, you're clearly hurting. And now I'm going to say, like, oh, that sucks. And here's my project management course, and it's only X dollars, right? Like, why didn't you cancel this call? I love dogs. My dog's asleep right over there, right? Like, I'm going to commiserate with you. And yet we think that we just have to be these stoic, barrel-chested freedom fighters throughout. Like, my wife left me, my dog died, my kid's sick in the hospital. Like, why are you calling me about a project management course? Like, go be with them.
Yeah.
Stop it. We're our own worst enemies, man. Like,
it's so true, man. It is so friggin' true. And it's part of it is we have this mentality that we can't say no, or we cannot just walk back and just explain a human situation. It's like, no, the mission's got to continue. The mission's got to move on. Like, life's not a mission 24/7. Life's life. You're out of the military. You're no longer Green Beret. Hate to break it to you. You're now you're transitioning into the civilian sector. Understand that you can call people and explain to them a circumstance, a situation.
You work for a company that's worth $100 million. You're not integral to the mission, right? Like, I mean, the mission, I get it. Like, you're going to, yeah, you're not. The hardest lesson for me, and this sounds stupid, was realizing the fifth group was going to keep rolling on without me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a hard pill to swallow, brother, right? Because and not just fifth group, but my team was going to go on without me. Fairly seamlessly, by the way, right? They're pretty good at bringing new people in. But we think that we have to be Johnny Rambo and do these like big quests and missions to do that. I'm like, dude, baby step it. Like, get your business plan established. And no, I'm not talking this in the book, a 50-page behemoth of an academic paper that all you're going to do is waste hours and hours and days and weeks of your life writing it to crumple it up because your customer has a vote and your competitors also have a vote. Get it to 2 to 3 pages of your clear vision of what you want to do. Get your priorities straight. Get your mindset straight. Understand it's a fight. Bring your team together. Build your products. Make money. Make sales. Scale. Understand that you're going to get ambushed, right? And how to get off the X. And these are all chapters in the book, right? So if I read you the 15 chapters without being annoying, welcome to the fight. Get mindset, get your head right or get out. Mission planning 101, gear check, targeting, the team room, SOPs and battle rhythm, recon and intel, execute aggressively, adapt relentlessly, dealing with ambushes, money's the objective, know when to call for fire, lessons from the A team, scaling the right way, and your exit strategy. So that's the 15 chapters, and there's 6 appendices as well in the Green Beret's Guide to Starting a Business. If you're interested in any of that stuff, like, pick up a copy. I'd love to, and I'll send you a copy for free, man. So don't buy it.
Yeah.
I'll get you. Send you one.
I'll take that. I'll take that as a win. Free book coming my way, and the official launch it's July, right? July 4th.
July 4th. Yeah, it's coming up. So,
dude, it's coming right around the corner. Heck yeah. Well, Scott, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show. Thank you so much for what you're doing and staying in the fight and helping our next generation of guys.
Same to you, brother. I love your mission, man. Dude, I love what you're doing. So whatever I can do to help, let me know.
Hell yeah. Like I was about to tell you guys listening, like, share, subscribe, pass this on to anybody. It doesn't matter if they're a Green Beret or not a Green Beret. Just pass it on. Share the show. Do us a favor. Go to the episode description. Click the links there. Get ready to download and buy this book and support it. And if you could support me, I'd greatly appreciate it. Head on over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. Leave us a like. Comment something. You can actually text me right now. If you're on Spotify, go to the episode. Right there in the little left-hand side, there's a little button that says send a text message. I forget what I put on there. Yeah, you can text me. Let me know what you think of the shows. Anytime you're listening. Something new. Yeah, it's an awesome new feature that I love because it gives me the feedback from you guys, what you want to hear, who you want to have on the show. And if I can make it happen, I will. Don't think I won't reach out to Ric Flair or Steven Seagal. I actually did that the other day.
You've had some pretty big badasses on, man. So I'm humbled to be on.
Bro, everybody and anybody, I will bring you on the show because I think that this is the most important thing that we can have these days.
You should be on Sean Ryan, or whoever's listening to this. You should be on the Sean Ryan show, plugging this. This is a small world. He was a SEAL, so I know we all have access to people. It's a small world,
bro. It's a small world
on the Sean Ryan show.
I'd love to have Sean. I'd love to have Sean on the show to talk about, not just the high speed stuff, but life and everything that we're doing, because that's the important thing that we need to do more of. Just talk, just engage with each other, because right now we are still a very divided nation, and man, we just need to understand we're all human beings, dude. So Scott,
it's criminal.
Thank you for being here, and to all y'all tuning in, thank you for being here. Yes, thank you, and God bless you and everybody listening, and we'll see y'all next time. Till then, take care.
Thanks.